Good afternoon and welcome to the presentation for Nursing 5020 Population Health Paper, Library Orientation. The purpose of this brief presentation is to provide you with some resources that may help you as you research for your population health paper and for the statistical analysis of the neighborhoods. So let's get started. Let's look under the Brando Library Course Guide. So if you go into quick links for research guides, select nursing, 5020 population-based healthcare. The first tab is Chicago Health. So select Chicago Health Atlas and search the atlas. Type in the name of the community area that you choose for your paper. And we need to ensure, so you're going to have to email me and let me know what area you're going to be doing because I don't want any overlap. Okay? So it's kind of first come, first serve with choosing your neighborhood. Here's your demographic data. Open up the population statistics worksheet. That's going to be in Canvas, and prepare to fill in the columns and rows with the information that you find. So complete the demographic profile portion of the statistics worksheet and start with the data column. Select data column and start completing the worksheet, filling in numbers for your community and for Chicago. Because remember, in this paper, you are comparing the community that you choose, like Pilsen or Albany Park or whatever community you choose, you are comparing that against the larger conglomeration of Chicago. I want you to pay attention to percentage, if it's a percentage or rate, and if it's a rate, be sure to include the denominator size of the population, because that's really important. I need to know we call it the N. What is our population, right? Complete the worksheet with data from physical environment, social, economic factors, and demography for the demographic profile section. Note that the health profile portion of the statistics worksheet, you can start filling out clinical care, morbidity, health behaviors, and mortality. It's pretty fun to look for those things. I love looking up vital statistics. It's really fascinating. The only problem is that vital statistics generally, they do a lot of research every 10 years, so the data may not be incredibly current. But it's still interesting to observe trends. Metropulse. So noted that this is CMAP, the Chicago Metropolitan Area Planning. And it can be referenced in your paper as the name of your community. And the one error that's here is APA, we do not use retrieved from anymore, so remove that. Select the name of your community and scroll down to demography. Fill out the gender and ethnicity on the worksheet and be certain to compare Chicago statistics to the same. Scroll down to social and economic factors and fill out safety hazards, income, social support, education, and employment. Add rows to the worksheet as needed and fill out Chicago statistics of income and some of the other factors that you think may be important. Here's some more information on Metropulse. If you scroll down to physical environment, fill in information on housing, transportation, and anything else you think that may be pertinent. Make sure that you note the years in the worksheet and compare at least a couple of them to Chicago. You can add rows to the bottom of the worksheet as needed and scroll down to morbidity and start filling out the health statistics portion. Note that the population health statistics worksheet gives 6 examples, but you don't need to use those. You can delete and replace them with the ones that you find most interesting. And these should be those that show the greatest concern for residents, like preterm births, tuberculosis, cervical cancer, sexual assault, things like that. Are they much higher in different areas, different communities in Chicago? Then include them in the worksheet. If you don't anticipate or you don't see that it's a problem, then I don't want you to include it in the worksheet. So you're only going to include what you see as a problem. And now you're going to scroll back up to mortality and continue filling out the health statistics portion. Look for comparisons with Chicago that concern you. And you should be able to start getting a community health status feel with comparison. Lastly, scroll down to health behaviors and look for the same, but what's significant? Do you see patterns starting to emerge that connect the social, economic environment, the physical environment, morbidity and mortality reports, and health behaviors? Do you see that there is a connection between all of those things? So I don't want you to consider this assignment to be cumbersome, because there's so much fascinating data that you can obtain when you're looking for these statistics. And it's really important to know, I think I mentioned it in an earlier video, every time I have a patient that comes in that has certain conditions, sexually transmitted infection, measles, positive tuberculosis, all of those things have to be reported to the Department of Public Health because they keep track of it. And one of the reasons that they keep track is they're looking for trends and clusters. So if they see that there is a cluster of measles, they know where to concentrate their efforts to try and get that under control, right? They did the same thing with COVID. Unfortunately, COVID just ballooned like I don't know what. And it was really, I mean, it was too much. It was so widespread. There really wasn't any way to contain it. All right, Chicago Data Portal, socioeconomic indicators. Look for the link at the bottom of this slide for selected socioeconomic indicators. So there's a link here. Open it up and find your community. Look for other information on income, poverty, education, unemployment, the hardship index on the far right. Now notice that some of these figures can be slightly different than what you found in the CMAP since it reports the percentage, and you can choose which source you want for comparison. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll find the Chicago comparison, and you're going to need this. So don't leave the page without checking it out. Note in the worksheet, you're going to include all the data from this site. So let's see. I don't think I can open it while I am doing a presentation. Okay, let's look at this one, Chicago Data Portal, Public Health Statistics. So you're going to select the next link in the Chicago Department of Health portal, and you can Google this too. This one's for public health indicators, and select what you're interested in. So if teen births are interesting to you, scroll down to the table preview and find your community. Now you do not need to cite 27 rates in your paper, okay? So because you're going to end up writing a paper about this, what you're looking up now. So by now you should have a general idea of what you think the problem in your community is. So you've gotten all of this data. The whole purpose, why are we doing this, right? The whole purpose of this is for you to identify a problem in your community that you can focus on. So whether it be teen birth or, oh gosh, what, maybe smoking or diabetes, something like that. But you're looking for a problem in your community that you can address. And risk factors or related conditions. Note that the number in the cell doesn't tell you what you're comparing. You're going to need to open up this link and find out what the rate is, or the percent. And again, oh, this one I did fix. To reference the paper, this is a way that you reference it. But I mean, you can go on ChatGPT and put in and say, make this reference 7th edition APA, and they'll do it for you, which is nice. Here. Okay, so our last steps, there are a lot of other links that you can go to for this course and see what's going to be helpful for you. National, to get some national data, Healthy People 2030 is a big one. Hospital community health needs assessment. So we're going to look at those a little bit later, but just remember, you are gathering a lot of this data as step one to writing your paper. That final paper is going to be due the last day of class. So make sure that you are diligent in ensuring that you have really good statistics, because I will go in and double check to ensure that they are accurate statistics. All right. So I hope that you found this helpful.